I was actually prepared what I would say in front of you, and it was related to venture capital funding and how you, being an entrepreneur, can actually raise your standards and go in the world of finance and get those funds and promote your company. Right? I'm just going to use layman's language so you can understand better. Why I'm saying this is because up until this point, when my team told me that this is the age group, obviously I was expecting students, but when my team told me that let's give them something that they can actually use in the next 4 to 5 years down the lane, right? Let's not give them something that, it will take them years to use, something that they can use in the next 4 to 5 years. So whatever I've prepared, I've scrapped it, and now whatever I'm going to tell you, just few points here and there. If you understand it properly, whatever field you are in your life, right, be it business, entrepreneurship, or any professional career, I think you will know. Alright? I've been to a lot of countries, right, in my early 20s. So Akash announced me as Mrs. I'm not Mrs. I'm 25. I'm a very much Miss. Right? So in my early 20s, I've been to places like Dubai. I've been there, I've done certain business over there. So what I've seen is, there are students aged 18 and 19 who are doing simply, let's just take Shopify dropshipping. Ye to suna hoga sabne, right? Because all of us use social media. So these people are making millions of dollars. And I'm not exaggerating, but that is exactly the number, right? And whereas, when I came back to India, right, and when we asked our students, or especially the company that I'm dealing with, we see a lot of client base, and the students come to us, and we ask them, so what are you doing? They tell us that they're studying. Now, there's nothing wrong with studying, right? Because our Indian education mein or parents ne humko aise hi sikhaya that when you're studying, there's nothing more important that you can do, which is right. They're not wrong. But there is something that these foreign kids are doing different, right? So if these 18, 19-year-olds can make good load of money, why can't we Indian students do it at a very early age in our life? Right? So whenever we ask any Indian student, what are you doing? The answer just restricts to studying. So as studying doesn't mean that, you're not supposed to do anything else. The question here is, why can't we do more as well? Why can't we have the world at a very early age in our life? Why do we have to wait to complete our studies and do something which is out of the box? Why do we have to do that? Right? So the lesson here is, do not be entitled with your age. Because kaisa hota hai na? If you go out there are people who have massive levels of success. Trust me, wo wahan aise nahi pahunche that they started something overnight and they accomplished it and then it's done. They have been through a lot of failure cycles. So when I talk about failures, they failed way more than you, way faster than you, and way more often than you. Right? So when I say way more often, सबको एक limited time span रहता है. Right? So आप जितना जल्दी start करोगे, आपका failure का scope उतना ज़्यादा रहेगा. Now I'm not going to talk to you about any success or anything because what I felt in my entrepreneurial journey. Success is something that everybody learns from, right? Failure is something that actually shows you the pathway, that actually saves you the time, money, capital investment, up the mental bandwidth, everything. If you know that how a person has failed, and if you know his or her mistakes, and then you know that you don't have to go through the trial and error loop to repeat those same mistakes again. Right? So all these people that you see who have overnight financial success, or any athletes that you see have success, any entrepreneurial business people that you see have success, they never reach there overnight. What thing that they have done right is that they have started early and failed more. Right? So whenever you go out there, any person that you take in your industry, आपको entertainment में जाना होगा, आपको agriculture में जाना होगा, fintech, real estate, entrepreneurship, business, or probably just, managerial corporate success. One thing that you will ask them, what has set you apart from, let's just take me. कि आप मुझसे ज़्यादा successful क्यों हो? The only reply, the only true coded reply that you will get is them telling you that they have failed 10,000 more times than you have even tried. Right? You understand the difference? आप जितना time, energy या expectations लगाते हो कि मैं ये चीज जाके आगे करूँगा या करूँगी, उससे 10 गुना ज़्यादा वो try करके fail हो चुके हैं. So the whole concept of failing faster, failing more, and failing way more than you is what led them to their success. Right now, I run a company where we assist in upskilling. जो भी any IT or non-IT market में high income skills होती है, our company caters to it, and we do also job placement assistance for 13+ international countries. So any leading country that you take, we assist you there, we place you there. The experience that I've learned from building my own company, right, and right now we are catering to 13+ international countries. The foremost experience जो हमने देखा, that has taught me lessons that today is the right stage to speak out to you. Now, आपके family में कोई ऐसा रहेगा, your fathers or relatives or your family, where a person has gone abroad and spent 20, 30, 40 lakhs in their abroad studies. Yes or no? Right? Now, the question is, in 2024 and 25, with AI in the picture and things changing so rapidly, is it really worth it? बाहर जाके पढ़ाई करना? That is the question. Now, understand that I'm not against education. Like I said, you need to have extreme amount of faith in our education system. But I want to highlight here that have faith in Indian education system. I'll tell you why. I have seen so many students, right, जिनके parents, they go to the extreme ends to spend those 20, 30, 40 lakhs of Indian rupees in abroad education. So once they do go out there and once they do study, they're struggling for jobs. Right? Now, आप argue करोगे कि abroad studies is just not about a job placement, ma'am. Abroad studies is about education, exposure, networking, making friends. Right? All this is fine. Exposure is fine. Right? But what if there's a better way to actually go out there and conquer the world? आपको इंडिया के बाहर ही जाना है ना, तो आप इंडिया में स्टडी करके बाहर जॉब करने क्यों नहीं जाते? Why do you have to spend 20, 30, 40 lakhs of Indian rupees? Not just yours, right? Not yours. Your parents' money, right? Put them in a difficult situation. Let's just say you have generational wealth, right? So it's easy for your parents to spend that amount of money. Okay? But there are like 80% of people, they don't have generational wealth. Their parents go through a lot of, difficulties and a huge puddle for you to put you in that position where इतनी funding आपको मिल रही है और आप बाहर जाके पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, right? Why do you want to do that? Now, there are certain pros. जैसे मैंने बोला, you will get great exposure and everything. But the day you graduate, the day you step out of your college, I hope you do realize that you have a huge debt standing on your shoulders. Now, how much more money are you going to ask from your parents? Why I'm telling you this is, so many students that come to us, they're struggling so much. I'll tell you, double MBAs, PhDs, they're cleaning tables at McDonald's. Why are we doing this to them? Indian students, extremely highly educated, right? They're cleaning McDonald's tables. Why? Because they're supposed to work for a certain yearly period so that they can get the PR or sponsorship of that country. So the freshers who go out there and actually do these studies are struggling for a job in phases that I cannot even put out in words. This is the reality today. And there are businesses out there who are making money out of it. Trust me, I know because I have any number of competitors, but we do as a company understand the bottom line of this. So coming back to the question and the lesson here, have faith in Indian education system. We are not just not that bad, but we're actually great. And if there is a way that you can study in India and then go out there and, if you want to start up a career, start up a business in any other country, you have all possible resources, you are debt free, and then you can do whatever you want. If obviously you are extremely skilled and you have enough amount of experience to take you to that level. That was the second lesson I wanted to share. Now, third lesson is, like I said, I wanted to start with venture capital, but considering your age group and considering what I can actually give you right now that you can use in your life for the next 3 to 4 years, right? I wanted to always talk about this saving mindset versus abundant mindset. So, आपने Instagram पे बहुत रील देखी होगी. Don't go to that Starbucks, right? You're going to save your $250. Don't go to that CCD, you're going to save your 300 bucks. Starbucks is more expensive than CCD. Otherwise, so don't go to that expensive place, don't unnecessarily spend. Now, I'm not against saving, right? अगर आपका income source इतना है, expense इतना है, obviously it's foolish of you to go out there and overspend. So I'm not actually against, overspending or saving. I do support saving. But the idea here is, let's not be trapped in the saving mindset जो हमको school time से, college time से, family time से सिखाया गया है. That you have to reach a certain age, save, and after you reach a certain age, what are you going to do with that money? Buy the most expensive hospital bed in the world? Right? That's not what you're going to do, right? So what are you going to do? Now some argue with me that we're saving it for our children. Trust me, children don't care. I'm someone's kid. Right? And I didn't get any money. I had to make my own money and retire my parents. Right? So, forget about saving for your children. What if there's a way where you can actually build generational wealth and there is no saving in the picture? You can give it to your children and spend for generations. So there are people who have made that amount of money and they didn't reach there by saving their way. Right? So, we say this thing. If you want the best lifestyle for you, why not have it today, when you're 25? I'm 25 right now. I bought a car. I'm not bragging. I bought a car worth 80 lakhs when I was 23-year-old. Alright? And that didn't come by saving my way. I knew that I got that money through investing in my business, and the business gave me returns, and that money was diverted over there. I have certain investment portfolio in real estate as well that gives me passive income constantly. The bottom line is, when you have the capacity to have the whole at a very early age in your life, so why not? And for the people who are actually having it, trust me, they didn't reach there by saving their way. They reach there by understanding कि जितना time, energy, patience, mental bandwidth हम लोग saving में लगा रहे हैं, that same amount of time, energy and mental bandwidth, if we invest it, if we direct it in learning how to make new money, right? New money, more money. That would be more profitable. And that is what I call it as abundance mindset. So saving versus abundant mindset, ये जो ऐसी concept है, अगर आप दूर से ही, अभी से ही आप सीखना चालू करो, whatever profession you be in, whether you're doing a job, whether you're doing a high-paying job in India or outside India, or whether you're running a company, right? It's going to come up use. So that was the third lesson. And the last lesson I want to tell you here is the concept of bootstrap companies versus venture capital funded companies. My company, we have not yet, so far, market से एक भी पैसा नहीं उठाया, right? Like I told you, I'm 25. तो जो भी company आज तक खड़ी की है, it was a completely bootstrap startup. So for people who don't know what's a bootstrap startup, you don't go to investors and ask for money and then you give your equity to them. Bootstrap is something, you make your own money, invest it back in your business and increase your profits. Right? And the biggest bootstrap successful example is the company Zerodha of Nikhil and Nitin Kamal. Zerodha तो सुना ही होगा सबने. तो कुछ तो कर रहे हैं ये लोग. So there are companies out there, billion-dollar companies just being bootstrapped. They haven't, borrowed a single penny from the market. So how are they doing it? Why I'm telling you this is today? Because bootstrap company is my story, right? And how we did it. We never relied on venture capital funding. I can tell you today that whatever idea that you come in, give it a little dash of AI, and if you have decent numbers, you will get funded by the VCs or angel investors, जो भी है. Right? And they can actually give you funding based on your pre-revenue report. But obviously your numbers need to look at least a little bit good, and the product needs to look good, the founding team needs to look good. But all these factors aside, at the end of the day, you need to understand that business and entrepreneurship में अगर आप उतर रहे हो, unless and until you don't know how to make money from scratch, no amount of external money is going to help you. और जितना बाहर का पैसा आ भी रहा है ना, it's going to amplify your current state. So right now, if you don't make any money, there's a very good chance. I'm not saying 100%, but there's a very good chance that आगे जाके if you're borrowing that money outside, it's not going to help you. So how about if you're in your 20s? Like I said, I scrapped my entire speech and made it in a way where it will help you 4 to 5 years down the lane. If you're in your 20s, how about you start a company and forget about asking money from the market? How about you make your first 100 sales solely based on your own efforts, right? तब जाके आप सीखोगे कि actual markets कैसे काम करते हैं, right? Actual failures कैसा taste होता है. So once you get the taste of those failures, once you get the flow of the business, that is when you understand that this is the responsibility I have to handle once I borrow money from the market. Because they're going to get a hold of you, even if there is no slack cutting for you as a founder. Trust me. So how about, rather than going along with the social media trend, I'll start up a company, I'll make a PPT deck, I'll go out there and pitch my idea. How about you make a company, you make your first 100 sales. Paise pe now, go out there, spend the money, do whatever you want with the money. But at the end of the day, you made that money on your own. Your company made that money on your own. And the day you get that thing, the day you get the responsibility of handling your finances and actually making your company profitable, trust me, there will be a time where your brand is in such a way that investors will come walking to you. You don't have to go out there and pitch yourself. That is the lesson I wanted to give you. So, bottom line is, the gist of this talk is, all the students that are hearing here, I'm not going to talk about something, which is quite delusional. I'm going to talk about money, right? Have money at a very early age in your life. Because why not? Because our kids out there, outside of India, you guys are college students, right? If they can do it, we can do it 10 times better. Yes or no? So have that abundance mindset over your saving mindset. Have that grit to actually go out there and start a bootstrap company. Have faith in Indian education system. Trust me, there was a time where, broad education was a thing. But telling you from my own experience, from the thousands and thousands of client base that we have dealt with, it's not a good option anymore. I'd rather you study in India and then get yourself skilled so much that you are eligible for a PR or a sponsorship abroad. You don't have to spend so much capital to go abroad and study. And at the end, don't be so entitled with your age, right? Try to compete with people twice and thrice your age. अगर पूरे स्पीच में से आपने कुछ नहीं लिया ना, सिर्फ यही लिया, I think I've made a successful TED talk, right? Try to compete with people who are twice and thrice your age, and that should be enough. Because if people can have a world at a very early age, why can't we do it? Do what they do at 30, 40, do it when you're 25, do it when you're 22, do it when you're 23, and then see how the world approaches you. Alright? Thank you so much.